with all my heart. Ladies and gentlemen, Tommy!
Thanks, Grampy, and nice to see you looking smart for a change. You've even had a shave as well. Now, before I start, the cricket club manager has asked if you could all stay off the chairs and tables for the standing ovation at the end of my speech, please. Thank you. Health and safety has gone mad. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and to all the Northerners, or should I say Brexiteers? I hope you're all having a nice afternoon and enjoying yourselves on this great occasion. They say you only get married twice in your life. Once on the way up and once on the way down. It's good to be back. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Tom. For those of you who do know me, keep quiet. For everyone who's dreading a long best man speech, don't worry, I'll keep it short. Like my dad. I must admit, I do feel a bit on trial today. My dad has told me that if I do a good job, I'll get to be the best man at his next wedding too. I would like to thank my dad on behalf of the bridesmaids for his kind words. I must agree, they do look extremely gorgeous today and have only been right and outshone by the gorgeous bride Claire. Can I just say how amazing the bride looks today? Don't you think, everyone? Dad's already made the jokes about her being late for everything, so I might as well throw that away. Gentlemen, I'm sure you'd agree with me that today is a sad day for single men as another beauty leaves the available list. And ladies, I'm sure you'll agree with me that today has passed by without much of a ripple. I wasn't surprised when he asked me to do this today after Uncle Dan made such a mess of it last time. But I was surprised when Dad told me he was getting married again after the mess he made of it the first time around. Although something did come out of his last marriage. Me! I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Claire for being the best stepmom in the world. It was obviously strange at first, but I can't imagine her not being part of my life now. She treats me like her own son, and I could not be more thankful for everything she does for me. The same goes for Dom, Johnny and Eva. I'm so lucky to have you in my life, and I can't imagine life without you now. Even if you can all be a pain in the arse sometimes, I still love you. Thanks to everyone who has travelled down from up north. Apparently they dropped an atomic bomb up on the north once. Caused about 15 quid's worth of damage. No, but seriously, it's nice to finally have all the important people in Dan and Claire's life all together in the same room. So when my dad asked me to be best man, I literally shat myself. Well, not literally, but it was close. It reminds you of a story where my dad was travelling back from Norfolk with Grampy, Uncle Dan and some friends in a minibus. Yeah. Halfway through the journey, Dad decided he needed to go for a poo. So the driver pulled over onto the hard shoulder of the M11. Yep. Dad got out and climbed up the grass bank where he thought he was out of view. But he wasn't. Everyone could see. He squatted down to do his business in front of a lovely horse with only one tissue to wipe his bum with. Needless to say, when he got out of the bus, no one shook his hand to say goodbye. Come on, we've all been there, right? Now you might think of my dad. Now you might not think of my dad as a What? Now you might not think of my dad as a romantic person, but he is. Although after listening to this, you might actually think he's a bit creepy. I'll let you decide. When he was in his teens, he really fancied a girl at school called Charlotte, but he didn't know how to tell her.
Come on. No. Not this one. Not this one. Not this story.
So while he was away on holiday with his best mate Adam, he decided to write her a series of postcards to try and get her attention and let her know how he felt. So, the first postcard sent on Monday simply said, I. The second postcard sent on Tuesday said, fancy. And the third postcard sent on Wednesday said, you. Definitely creepy, right? The fourth postcard sent on the Thursday had a date and time of where to meet him when he got back from his trip. So, when the day arrived, Dad was sitting in McDonald's with a Happy Meal for two, waiting for her to turn up.
That's brutal.
After waiting for hours with no sign of her, he realised that his dream was finally over. Aww. I don't think he ever talked to her at school after that day. Aww. But after weeks of searching, we have managed to track her down, and she is here with us tonight! Only kidding, only kidding. No. Only kidding. I sent her 4 postcards and a place to meet, but she never turned up.
Oh, wow.
Only that.
Wow.
Get cooked. We all know that my dad loves music and loves going to watch bands play. Well, this time 2 years ago, him and some friends went to watch one of his favourite bands, Guns N' Roses, at the Olympic Stadium. Having waited many years to see them, it's needless to say Dad was quite excited. On the way there, the beers were flowing on the train a bit too well. And by the time they arrived, Dad was a little bit drunk. A few more beers down and half an hour into the gig, Dad's eyes rolled back into his head and Uncle Dan and Claire had to carry him out of the stadium as he literally couldn't stand. Outside of the stadium, Dad was literally incoherent and was fighting with Uncle Dan and arguing with Claire, and they just couldn't get any sense out of him. But at least he could stand on his own 2 feet by now. After about half an hour, he stormed us to the train station, closely followed by Uncle Dan. Uncle Dan tried to stop him, but he just wouldn't listen. He got on the wrong train and ended up about 50 miles from home and had to pay £100 for a taxi back. What a role model. Another story which unsurprisingly involves alcohol, again, was a week after we got back from a family trip to Florida with Adam, Claire, Sam and Ben, and we invited them round to our house. Let's just say, Dad got extremely drunk after drinking 2 bottles of wine. When he got up to shake Sam's hand as they were leaving, he toppled over onto the floor because he couldn't stand up. I was too scared for Dad to put me to bed that night, so I had to get Claire to do it. She was the only one who wasn't drunk. Which is actually a miracle in itself. I told you he was a good role model. But in all seriousness, apart from being a functioning alcoholic, my dad is the best dad anyone could ever ask for. He does so much for me, and I just want you to know I appreciate everything you do. We all do. At this point, I'd like to make a toast to my nanny Janny, who would have loved to have been here today to see her firstborn get married again. I'm sure she's looking down and feeling very happy and proud, and I'm sure she would have gotten on very well with Claire. So please, everyone raise your glasses to Nanny Janny. I ask you all now to join me in the final toast to the future happiness of the bride and groom. To Mr. and Mrs. Archie Davis, may your life together bring you all the happiness in the world, and please, no more children. Right, I'm not like you, but I need a drink. And remember, everyone likes a drink, but no one likes a drunk. Cheers!